The eye creams that I use as facial moisturizers, and the embarrassing thing that happened to me inside of a FedEx because I was tired and underslept and had very baggy under eyes. We did a video in the past talking about the moisturizers that I use in the under eye area. I get more value for my buck, they work well, and everybody on that video was like, this is great, but I have some eye creams that I want to use as facial moisturizers, and I want to know what your favorites are. And there are actually 3 products that are labeled as eye care products that I love to use all over my freaking face that are amazing. And then one thing that has a caveat. But we're gonna talk about that because that's why you're here. And we're also gonna talk about what happens when your phone's music connects to the Bluetooth at the FedEx and starts playing over the speakers for everyone to hear. And when you have a music library like I do, boy does that get embarrassing. But since that first video, people wanted to know the products that I do use all over my face. And the ones that I like to look for are ones that actually have good ingredients, ones that really nourish the skin and actually do what they claim. There's not like this shady marketing of fixes your face. And it's like, okay, well, is that under eye bags? Is that wrinkles? Is that puffiness? Like, tell me nothing, but say a lot of words. Oh, it's like a politician. There are a few favorites and even a few dermatologists who got me hooked on this recent one from Versed. And we're working with them on a portion of this video, but we're gonna talk about that in just a second because when you are too tired, when you are underslept, and when you are running on literal caffeine and adrenaline, you don't always think things through, right? This was a very late evening and I was going to one of the 24-hour FedEx locations because I was trying to ship out packages to our beYoutiful subscribers because I've been very, very, very late at shipping out packages, which I still am, but you know what? I'm working with what I've got, people. So I was at FedEx at like 1 in the morning and I walk in and all of a sudden I hear this G drop. And I was like, oh my god, you guys listen to My Chemical Romance and the Black Parade? And these poor ladies behind the counter, bless their souls, they looked in their mid-40s, maybe 50s, you know, like someone that you would hang out with and have a cup of coffee with. Well, they sat there and they're like, chemical romance? Chemical spill? What? And they're kind of looking around. I'm like, yeah, welcome to the Black Parade. And I'm like smiling behind my mask, but nobody can see it. So I take my earbud out so that I can talk to them more appropriately about all these boxes that I've just now put on their counter. And you know how when you tap your thing, you know, it skips to the next song? Next thing you know, I must have pressed something because it went from, you know, this screaming emo band and a set of confused lovely ladies to Lindsay Sterling's dubstep violin. If you have not heard Lindsay Sterling and her dubstep violin, she's a YouTube music creator and she plays the violin like a Celtic queen, but she does it in dubstep. And next thing you know, like there's this dubstep violin coming out of these people's speakers and they're like, what the heck? And this kid comes out from the back. And this kid, he looked like he was maybe, you know, maybe 20, 23. He had kind of the spiky hair. Like he seemed like someone who would listen to My Chemical Romance, right? He was kind of on my same wavelength. And these ladies turned around and by the way they looked at him, I recognized that he's probably, I don't know, I'm not trying to judge, but maybe a little bit of a troublemaker. Like maybe he's someone that would play screamo music, right? And they're looking at him, they're like, did you turn on the music again? What's going on? And I was like, oh, are you the one who likes to listen to dubstep violin and to My Chemical Romance? And I'm trying to like make eye contact and be like, hi, I'm one of those weird emo kids like you. Hello, I'm just older now and I don't look it because I have a mask on, but it's nice to meet you, my fellow mid-2000s scene kid friend. Right, I'm like trying to make friends here. Anyways, this lady is helping me with my packages. They can't figure out who's playing the dubstep violin, right? They're taking out their phones, they're looking for this. I'm scanning in these packages and I have them all packaged in USPS boxes. So I'm sitting there like packaging these things up. We go through like 15 of them. She's scanning in all the prices. And next thing you know, I hear a very familiar tune that I would never expect to hear in a FedEx. Gorian nu dafat karo. If you know, then you know. But basically, this is one of the best Bollywood bops out there. It is amazing. It is Bollywood. It is definitely not English. And when I heard this, everyone is just sitting here like, what is going on with our speaker system? I look down and my speakers, my last 3 songs that have played are My Chemical Romance, dubstep violin, and Gorian nu dafat karo. And if you know what that means, then you know what that means. But I recognized that my phone was connecting to the FedEx music system and all of a sudden it's blasting out this noise and these poor people, they thought they were under some sort of cyber attack at 1 in the morning. And I was like, oh, I think this is my phone. And they're like, what? So they go over to the speaker system, they're trying to figure it out. They end up just unplugging it. They're like, oh no. I'm so glad they did end up just unplugging it because knowing me, I would have one of my own videos on like double speed and it would have been like blasting through the speaker. Like, hello guys, this is my favorite eye cream. This is the one that I use all over my face because it has retinoid in it. I really like retinoid because of the dermatologist number 1 standard when it comes to treating acne and skincare. And yeah, that would be So embarrassing. But I was extremely underslept, which is why it took 3 songs for me to recognize it. And the eye bags are not a joke, which is why I like patches. And it's why I have tried a lot of these eye creams and why only a few actually stand out. So let's start with this one. This is the newest addition to my little face routine. And this is not just a regular eye cream. This is not some watered down, you know, glycerin style liquid. This is a retinoid balm. Where have you been all of my life? Where has this been? This is shea butter. This has some mushroom in it. This has a gram active retinoid. And this is basically like, take a vegan creamy form of Vaseline and put a retinoid in it. And can you please make a tub of this? This is affordable. It's $17 for this, but a little does go a long way. And yes, I understand that it's an eye balm and you're supposed to use it in the under eye area, but I use it all over my face. And here's the thing, when it comes to slugging and retinoids can be really irritating on some people's skin, which is why they actually buffer it with something like a petrolatum jelly, a petroleum jelly, a Vaseline. That basically creates this occlusive, balmy barrier so that the retinoid isn't as irritating on the skin. But I've never met an occlusive balm that has a retinoid in it and something that is this thick, this creamy, you know, this occlusive, so it also helps to lock in hydration. And for the eye area, it is gentle. I do have acne prone skin. You can probably see that I have scars, I have redness, I have a little bit of hyperpigmentation, so retinoids really are this skin's best friend. But when it comes to retinoids, they are one of the ingredients that is actually proven to help in the eye area because they can help with fine lines and wrinkles. Now, retinoids are not going to come out here and decrease your puffiness. This is not like an anti-puffing eye cream. And for the brands that try to claim that, I get so mad, but they're not claiming that. They're literally saying it's the Advanced Retinoid Smooth Landing Eye Balm. And that's literally what it is. It helps to smooth out this area because retinoids help to speed up skin cell turnover, and it helps with those fine lines and wrinkles. So yeah, you can use it around the eye area because it's gentle. And if you've ever worried about like getting a retinoid in your eye or you don't want to use tretinoin in full strength, I don't blame you. This is a safe way to do so. And then for me, hi, I have acne all over here. I love to use this all over my face, especially at night. And a little does go a long way because it is so thick. One of the main ingredients is shea butter. The retinoid that I use during the day is the Beauty Pie Vitamin C and Retinol one, and that is a really great one, but I do feel like I have to use a little bit more, whereas with this, like, look at this. She has gotten a nice layer of stuff on the face. And a lot of other retinoids, including gram active retinoids, tend to be more liquidy. You know, this is one of my favorites from The Ordinary. I've tried to use this around my eye, and I mean, it's not bad, but it's not great. And the fact that this has the gram active retinoid, it has this snow mushroom, it has this thick, balmy texture. Oh my God, it is so good, not just for my face, but yes, for the eyes, and yes, at night. I'm really a huge fan of kind of thick, occlusive products at night. During the day, they are a little bit too much for me because I do naturally have oily skin, but when you put this on at night, it locks everything that you've just put on previously, from serums to toners, etc. And then it allows it to stay close to the face and work. And for quite a while, I was using a prescription strength retinoid with a kind of Vaseline-like balm, but this has completely erased it. This is like $17, $18. It's under 20. Dr. Mamina used this on Instagram, and that's when I was like, I do need to try it. Versed ended up sharing it with me and then wanted to work together to kind of launch it for their campaign. But at first I was like, no Versed, I'm not gonna sit here and talk about like this amazing eye cream because it's not something I use as an eye cream, it's something I use all over the face. So I get that it is a gentle balm and it's meant to be used as an eye cream and people love it for that. And if you still love eye creams, more power to you. Just know that the majority of them I can't recommend because there's some things that either don't have the right ingredients or I feel that they're overpriced. This is one that if you wanted to use it on your eye area, it would actually work for fine lines and wrinkles. It actually has the ingredients to back it up and a good price, but with full transparency, yeah, I use it all over my face. It's an eye balm that performs, and can somebody please make a tub of this? I don't know why no one's ever created like a thick balm that has a retinoid in it. Like that's what we're doing already, and we're just taking 3 steps to do it because we're sandwiching our products. Why not make something that actually works? The smooth landing, you can layer it. I freaking obsessed with this. This formula also has jojoba, black currant, and vitamin E. Vitamin E is really good for scarring, and jojoba and black currant, especially jojoba, it's one of my favorite oils because it mimics what our face creates naturally. And I find that this smooths over my skin so well. And if you are going to like hold me face to face with a weapon and force me to recommend an eye cream, this is one that I would for fine lines and wrinkles. This is one that I absolutely love. And yes, for the eyes, but also everywhere else. Now, as a contrast to that, if we wanted to talk about something that I would not really use for the eyes and that I do love everywhere else on the face, we have to break out The Ordinary. This is The Ordinary's Caffeine Solution 5% plus EGCG epigallocatagen 3 gallate, and this is meant to be an under eye, brightener and an under eye depuffer. It has caffeine, and so they claim that it depuffs the under eyes and it helps with darkness and circles. I used this for literally a month. I tracked my progress, and we actually shared this in a YouTube video, and I spoke with a plastic surgeon to find out what was going on. And lo and behold, at the end of the month, did my under eye color, did my under eye puffiness change? No, not at all. The Ordinary's Caffeine Under Eye Serum is not an under eye serum for me, but do you know what it is? It is a face serum. Oh, if you want a potent facial serum that has caffeine, antioxidants. A lot of people use vitamin C under sunscreen. I do as well. I use that vitamin C retinoid one from Beauty Pie underneath my sunscreen in the morning. But oh my God, caffeine is such a good antioxidant. Caffeine is phenomenal under sunscreen, and a lot of people don't talk about that. And this has the epigallocatagen 3 gallate as well as the caffeine, but this is just such a beautiful formula. And if you do have, kind of a puffy face, you could use this with a tool for massage, or you could literally just put this. I have the retinoid eye balm on my skin, so I'm just gonna put it down here. But you can literally use this to help brighten the skin, to help with some vasoconstriction if you struggle with rosacea or if you get a little bit of flushing in the skin. Oh, this is such a good product. And again, it's a beautiful serum. You get a lot for the money as well. A lot of eye creams, again, the reason that I hate most eye creams is because they sell them to you in these tiny, tiny little tubes, and they're like, sample size, and you're like, I gotta squeeze it out. It's a really decent size, especially for the price. But I find that it's too liquidy for the under eye area. Like, you're not getting a lot of bang for your buck in the under eye, and it just doesn't do what it claims to do for me. But when I put this all over my face or all over my skin, I freaking love it. It is one of the best caffeine serums that I've used. Youth to the People, I think, has another caffeine serum that I like, but those are like my favorite two to recommend. And yes, one of them happens to be an eye cream that I do not recommend as an eye cream. Even that plastic surgeon, he was so nice, Dr. Scott, he spoke to me about why a lot of eye creams don't work. We have like a full 1 hour segment of that. But speaking about how there are fat pads under the eyes, or how for some people it's just the way they sleep. And that is, again, why I like eye patches for puffiness, because those patches actually hold things up like an underwire bra, basically, like a push-up bra, as opposed to just kind of letting, all of the fluid accumulate overnight. But of course, the industry is going to try to rip us off, and you have a lot of these companies that are selling things in tiny little tubes this big, which, yes, we've also got to talk about because I do love this one. This is this pretty purple bottle from Pacifica. This is the Vegan Ceramide Barrier Eye Cream, and what I love about this is that as well as the Versed one and as well as the Ordinary one, it's actually fragrance free. So I can use this all over my face, but you can use this in the eye area. There are a lot of eye products that have fragrances, and it's like, I don't hate fragrances in skincare, but why would you put them so close to your eye? Why would you put them so close to your eye when they're aromatic? They release particles into the air. They can cause so much irritation, inflammation. Beauty industry, are you just trying to make our skin worse so that we have to go to you to buy more products to fix it? Conspiracy theory, total conspiracy theory, but just hear me out. Fragrances and eye creams, I know likey, even though I do like fragrances in my other products elsewhere on my face. This right here is the fragrance-free Vegan Ceramide Eye Cream. And yes, it has vegan ceramides. It is beautiful. It is wonderful. The ceramides in here are fantastic. And you know what? This is actually worth the price. It's, I think, like 14 or 15 bucks. But do you know what else is 14 or 15 bucks? The entire tub. This is from the Pacifica Vegan Ceramide line. This is the Vegan Ceramide Barrier Cream. This also has those lipids, those ceramides. It's vegan. It doesn't have any of the fragrance, and they're both in these beautiful purple packages. But look at how much you get. 1.7 fluid ounces, 50 milliliters, and this one you get half of a fluid ounce. You get 15 milliliters. Look at that pricing difference. And when you actually take out the moisturizer, it has a texture that is so similar to the eye cream. If you take the eye cream and you like compare these side by side, the eye cream is a little bit thinner, like just by a touch, but you could literally water this down and have almost the exact same product. Do you see that? They are almost identical. They work so well on the skin. They have many of the exact same ingredients, and I'm like, why would you pay 3 times the price for this just because it's labeled as an eye cream? I do love this. I will use it all over my face. This is an eye cream that I do recommend, especially if you have sensitive skin, someone who's like always prone to irritation. This one's great. But what I would rather recommend is this, because it is literally a full-fledged moisturizer that works all over the face, and you get a lot more for your money with the same ingredients, literally from the same brand in the same line with the same packaging. Okay? Okay. Actually, as I'm looking looking at all of these products, I'm realizing that there are trends. All three of these that I really, really like are fragrance-free and gentle. They're not overly irritating, which is why I think I like them for the eyes and the face. There are a lot of eye creams out there that are irritating. Again, retinoids that are irritating. This one is gentle, this one is not. Fragranced products, this one is not fragranced, but a lot of eye creams are. Or a lot of eye creams that have vitamin C, but that's actually quite irritating. Vitamin C can really sting the face, and if you use it improperly, it can burn, and you don't want to burn the under eye area. So if you could use antioxidants from another source, or even have some vasoconstriction properties, that's what I would like more out of my skincare. I feel like we all went through this like year of 2021 and we just hit our face with all the acids, and it's like, okay, let's calm down, let's be sensible again, you know, let's try to take care of our skin, not just like attack it from all angles with all chemicals and all ingredients. And let's also not attack our wallets. Like, I would go for the large portion of this if you asked me to. I would absolutely go for this for 17 bucks. This is one of the best balms and gram-active retinoids that I've ever used. There are other gram-active retinoids out there, but I just wouldn't put them in the under eye area. And some gram-active retinoids are really expensive. This one is not. And the caffeine solution. Again, Youth to the People has one that I like as well, but it's like $40. This one's so inexpensive and you can use this all over the face. Put it in your under eyes if you want to. Did not help me with my under eye bags. You might still be able to use this for kind of dark under eye area, kind of like a little bit of purplish, but watch that video where we did a full review on it. It was a fun time to test and a very interesting before and after. I am so happy that Versed launched this. I'm so happy that Dr. Mamina spoke about it, which is why I decided to try it. And I'm so grateful that Versed has allowed me to partner with them and to tell people about the eye cream, but also how I use it, because it's, yes, intended to be an under eye balm, but that's not how I use it. And the way that I like it is quite different. And the fact that a brand listens to that and respects that and then actually listens to their customers and tests it, it's not like, you know, a double-blind, placebo-controlled, you know, meta-analysis, but they did actually test this out on people and they had really good results. They tested it out on a large amount of people, and they actually tested it on people aged 36 to 64. So they're not testing this out on teenagers, right? Because most teenagers don't have the same under eye issues that people in their 30s or above have. That to me is so refreshing. So thank you. And thank you for keeping me awake and letting my brain cells function. Remember to not let your phone's music Bluetooth connect to random speakers in commercial establishments. Okay, love you guys. Bye.